a new novel from New England-based author Julie Carrick Dalton is taking a closer look at the connection between women and the natural world. The Forest Becomes Her was inspired by her own love of the land and the story itself, and it's based right here in Massachusetts. And Julie, of course, joins us now. So, Julie, the epigraph of this novel, it actually quotes Mr. Henry David Thoreau, and it says it's one of his essays called Walking, right? And it says, "In wilderness is the preservation of the world." And so we know a lot about Henry Thoreau. He's, transcendentalist. But one thing that's really important about him is the fact that he actually wrote right here in Massachusetts, in Concord. So what about his story influenced you writing this book?
Well, just the connection to nature and being in Massachusetts. I spent a lot of time in Concord. My kids went to school there. And so I love the idea of our connection to the land we live on, but as well as each other. The story is as much about our connection to the people in our lives as the land.
And again, it's based in Concord,
yes,
of course. But you also have your own tradition in New Hampshire. You have a tiny cabin that you go up to every summer. The desk was built by your grandfather,
Yes.
and you use that to inspire you to write a lot of your novels. How did that become a tradition?
So my grandfather ran a lumber mill. He was a carpenter, and just the smell of old wood reminds me of my childhood. And so we built this little cabin, and it's in the forest. And this book is about a forest. So just the smell of this old cabin and my grandfather's craft while I'm surrounded by woods was the perfect place to write this book about a forest.
That sounds so beautiful and peaceful and nostalgic. I love all of that for you. And a lot of your experiences are informed through this book, right? You have the journalist background. You were formerly a beekeeper.
Yeah.
So what part of your personal stories do you usually take when you're writing?
A lot. There's a lot of me in this book in particular. I had a forest. The story is about a forest that was clear-cut and a community built there. And when I was a child, a forest behind my home was clear-cut to build houses. And it was really traumatic for me. So I kind of gave that wound from my childhood to my characters and let them write a better ending than the ending I had.
So you have the three characters, which are humans, right? But the forest is also a character in this book and really has a voice. Why was that so important?
I think we as humans have a tendency to differentiate ourselves from nature. That we go out in nature, spend time in nature, but we're animals. We're humans are nature, and so I wanted to try to blur the line between humans and humans who differentiate themselves from nature, and to get a little closer to the natural world.
I know authors hate this question quickly, but what do you hope people take away from this?
I hope that they just look around and love the things in nature that are already here and not wait for them to disappear. Like when I was 13, when I lost that forest, I didn't worry about losing it. I just thought it would always be there. And then when it disappeared, it changed me. So I hope people will just look at the things that move them and love them now before they're gone.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Of course, you need to read the book to get more. But Julie is actually going to be celebrating the release tonight at An Unlikely Story in Plainville, Massachusetts, with a conversation with author Milo Todd. You'll also be in New Hampshire July 28th. So for more information about everything she's up to, make sure you head to juliecarrickdalton.com. Get the book.